That led me to quitting Goldman Sachs. Have dinner with my wife. I will be drinking, not paying attention, not being in the intentional, not being in the moment because I just wanted to escape.
What does your family need from you? More money or more of yourself?
In my opinion, I don't believe that you sacrifice family for money. It's not a sacrifice, it's a decision, and you're deciding what is more important for you. And I think so we hide ourselves under the sacrifice part. And this is a team. Little by little, taking masks and putting masks. I see a promotion. What is the next one? I wouldn't enjoy actually the fruit of my labors right in there because I was always looking at them.
Welcome to the Legacy and Wealth Podcast, a show for proven high-earning men who value wealth, character, and a lasting legacy. Brought to you by The Standard, a private membership community for high performers. My name is Mitchell Clark, and today I'm joined by fellow Standard member, Leugim Borres.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get started. The first question I have for you is, how do you make money right now?
Right now, I have a business. It's an Açaí shop. It's a Brazilian berry. Are you familiar with the Açaí bowls?
I am, but it's mainly just kind of the normal like chain restaurants I kind of see like around the corner. And then from what little I talked to you about beforehand, yours is a little bit different than your bread and butter, like Shake Shack or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Our Açaí is a premium Açaí that we import from Brazil, so it's not diluted, and it has all the antioxidants and all the health benefit that the Açaí berry is supposed to have. So it's a franchise. We brought the franchise here to Dallas. My first location is at Victory Park, down where the American Airline Arena is at. And currently we're looking into a second location, moving a little bit north. So that's the way that I'm making money at the moment.
I'll just add in, I live in North Dallas and McKinney, so if you're looking for a second location, I would pick something around that area.
Definitely.
No. Tell me about, I'm kind of curious about the Açaí berry itself. What does it actually taste like outside? Because most Açaí bowls that I have are basically just taste like sugar bowls, but what is it supposed to taste like? What is the difference between like what you would typically see versus what they would taste at your shop?
It's a mix. It has a unique taste. It tastes, I would say, the most closest thing is like a blueberry. It looks like a blueberry. Okay. And what you eat is actually the pulp around, because it had the pulp around. It tastes like a blueberry. It's a superfruit. It's considered a superfood, so it has antioxidants, vitamins, anti-inflammatory agents. So it's really good for your health. Okay. And to your point, when you say the other ones that you taste around, again, it's low quality Açaí. Sure. And usually they want to make more money, so they bring a low quality product. So they mix it. They need to mix it with a lot of sugar, other fruits, so they can serve something that the customer might like.
Okay. Have you always done Açaí bowls? Like, have you done this your entire career? Or?
No. Definitely, this was a complete 360 for me.
Okay. Well, here, let's talk about that, because we want to kind of get to know you as a person. Let's kind of start back from the beginning. So, and we were talking earlier, did you grow up in Puerto Rico, or where'd you grow up?
Yes, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I went to my whole life in Puerto Rico to a Catholic school, and when I graduated high school, that's when I decided to move to Colorado. Okay. To go to college and do my finish my accounting degree.
Awesome. How did that go through? Did you want to do accounting, or what was kind of your thought process of choosing a degree?
So that was the plan. So the plan, since I was little, it was, okay, let's go and do accounting, because I wanted to be an FBI agent at the beginning. Okay. Yes. So I have a family member in Colorado, which is my uncle. He was a FBI retired agent, so I always saw that as a career path. Okay. So it was a plan, kind of like I decided, but it was made for me. Okay. It was go to college, finish accounting, get your CPA, go join one of the big 4 firms, and then join the FBI, or join the FBI right away when you finish your CPA. Things took a little bit of a twist. Okay. So I moved to Colorado, not knowing any English, went to college. While I was going to college, I started working in Wells Fargo as a teller. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I started falling in love with banking. Okay. And with success. So I started working in Wells Fargo as a teller, worked my way up in 4 years all the way to a branch manager position. Mm-hmm. And I spent 10 years in Wells Fargo, from teller to branch manager, and then I moved to a commercial role. It was a commercial relationship manager.
Okay.
After I learned everything about retail, I wanted another challenge, and that challenge was commercial. How do we do the big loans? How do we finance a $10 million building? So I wanted to learn a little bit more about those ins and outs. So that's when I decided to make the transfer.
Okay.
To
That's
Wells
awesome.
Fargo.
So, okay, when you tell her going into that, what were some of the clients that I know it's probably a wide variety, but any that stuck out to you clients wise that you had to work with on the commercial side?
The commercial side, well, there were many of them. I had a portfolio of 30 clients. They range from doctors with a portfolio of $50 million in commercial real estate,
Okay.
and I will manage that portfolio, that relationship, to let me think. It was a industrial shop, but they were printing money. They were printing
What kind of shop?
industrial shop. They will sell like tools for mechanics and everything. And I will manage.
I've heard about those. I heard those things can make a lot of money.
Yes. They were making $50 to $60 million a year. So I will
I'm
be
not
managing.
surprised.
Yeah.
Were they like loaning out tools or like no?
Selling from
Selling,
small tools all the way to big equipment.
Okay.
From it. So it was interesting because I was able to learn from every single of my business in the portfolio. That's what spiked, like, make me start thinking about, okay, what other businesses can I do? And it start putting me to think, like, do I want a corporate career forever? It's good, but what else is out there? Because I always knew that there was something more out there for me.
Okay. No, that's good. So you were a commercial lender. Where'd you go after that?
So 2020 happened. I remember the pandemic happened. When the pandemic hit in February, when the lockdown started around March, I remember telling my wife, run the numbers in the house because I think so. There's going to be massive layoffs. Layoffs. And they told us to put the pen down, basically. So I was a revenue driven. It was a revenue driven position. So during COVID, we were not making no loans. There were no underwritings. People were afraid. So fast forward to October, they lay off the whole office, and that pushed me to start looking to other avenues. That's where another opportunities. That's where I had a decision to make. It was either stay in Colorado, look for other positions in Colorado, even in Wells Fargo, if I wanted to, or explore outside Colorado. I think so. It was my soul was journeying.
Sure.
Going outside Colorado because by that time I only lived in Puerto Rico and Colorado.
Okay.
So I knew I wanted something different. I started applying to different states, but mostly here in Texas. I remember I had interviews set up for BNY Mellon in Houston, the Federal Reserve here in Dallas. I did a couple of interviews with them. That was in my second interview, and then Goldman Sachs, where that's where I got hired, and they brought me here to Dallas.
That's awesome. That's really cool. How was that experience at Goldman Sachs?
That experience was amazing in the sense that I learned a lot in there, but at the same time, it was transformative for me. A lot of things that during that year that I was in Goldman Sachs, I got to know myself more than the 10 years that I was in Wells Fargo. Reason why, when I joined Goldman, I worked with amazing people in there, high performance people. They were always going 150 miles an hour, which it was exciting to be there. But I was in my 30s already. I had a little bit of a different point of view at that time. I came from Wells Fargo, where you had a little bit of a work-life balance type of style. Depending on the position, of course. But here it was like the rush. You were driven by the rush, and it was amazing. But at the same time, I will be going inside me to see what I really want from life, and that's where the discussions about marriage, having babies, what do I want for going forward in my 30s start happening more and more. And that year in Goldman, again, I enjoyed my time there, but there was something deeper inside me telling me,
Were you married at the time?
yes.
At Goldman Sachs? When, let's go back, let's rewind the clock back a little bit. Where did you meet your wife and how did that happen? Was she with you during the Wells Fargo?
Yes.
Okay.
High school sweetheart. We are high school
Oh,
sweethearts. Yes,
excellent.
we met in high school. We dated a year and a half in high school, and then I moved to college, so that's when we split up. But then after 4 years, me being in Colorado, we kind of like re-engaged.
Got back together.
Yeah,
Okay.
got back together, and we got married. Yes, yes.
Okay, so she's been with you throughout this entire process.
Throughout the entire process, she is, everything.
How did she feel from her perspective of your, kind of transitions from college to Wells Fargo, in your different positions in the Goldman Sachs? How did she react to all those different positions?
We were different persons in every single stage. I think so. People who knew me in high school wouldn't recognize the person in my 20s.
Yeah.
And people who knew me in Wells Fargo in my 20s wouldn't recognize the person in my 30s right now.
That's interesting.
Like definitely, like when I say it has been transformative, it's like completely, like I have changed completely who I am as a person, spiritually, everything.
Okay. Let's go into that a little bit. What's changed in particular? Like if you were to see, if you had someone kind of looking at you from the outside from those three different phases, what do you think they would see changed about you?
In my younger years, let's say in high school, I was a follower.
Okay.
So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do when I get out of high school.
Sure.
So a lot of advice from elder people, a lot of things. So I was little by little, and this is a theme. Little by little, taking masks and putting masks.
Okay,
Every single time. So that's when I go to college. Then during my college years, I'm being more influenced by chasing money, promotions, status. I see a promotion. When is the next one? I wouldn't enjoy actually the fruit of my labors right in there because I was always looking at the next thing. What is the next thing? How much more I can make? And now in my 30s, it's more of about, wait a second, I need to remove this mask. I need to remove this other mask.
Sure.
I need to actually go inside and think about who I'm really am.
Okay.
And that led me to quitting Goldman Sachs. Like actually, after a year of doing that introspection and taking out, peeling layers and layers and layers, I'm like, oh, this is not what I want.
Okay. I think sometimes you need to go through a trial like that to figure. I've heard this as a quote from someone. Like sometimes you have to get what you want to figure out what it is you really want. Like once you reach your goals and your dreams, that's when you start actually figuring out like what it is that actually makes you happy. And sometimes it takes reaching that destination for you to be like, wait a second, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. But that it was good because then it kind of rearranges your mind on what is it that's truly important to you? And I think a lot of people, so it sounds like you kind of found that at Goldman Sachs.
Yes, I kind of found that in Goldman Sachs, and then it was painful. I'm not gonna lie to you because you're attached to a company.
Yeah.
How do you call it? Your ego? You're a Goldman Sachs person.
So it wasn't just like an easy, quick, like I'm done here.
Yes,
just get out.
It wasn't an easy, quick. It was more of a process of thinking. Okay, this is what I really want. I'm a Puerto Rican. I'm from Puerto Rico. The first in my family to go to college. I made it to Goldman Sachs. Like, no, I can see the future. Like, if I stay here, I can see me being a VP. They were already dangling that carrot in front of me, and I'm like, I just need to continue pushing and pushing. But I will get out at 9, 10 a.m., go to have dinner with my wife. I will be drinking, not paying attention, not being in the intentional, not being in the moment because I just wanted to escape the whole rush during the day. So that's where I decided, no, I need to quit. And quitting took a lot from me because it was like me disconnecting that ego, that brand from me. And then took some time off to just, we traveled a little bit, me and my wife during that time. And then after 4 or 5 months, that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to get back to it. And that's when I joined MUFG. It's a Japanese bank. It was a little bit of a more mellow pace on it. Japanese, they do everything like really, really well, but it takes time.
Okay.
So it wasn't an American bank.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. What's the bank called?
MUFG.
MUFD. Okay. So then from there, so was the Açaí Bowl after that, or was okay? So
So
how long were you at the Japanese company for?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
3 years, yes.
So
And
how old are you now, if you don't mind?
35.
35. Okay. All right. Excellent. So you, okay. So you went through all this. You're in the Açaí Bowl business now. You've had one location. How long has that been for?
Yeah. Wow. Now it's 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah. We started. We opened the doors in March last year, 2025.
How's the journey been there? Any ups and downs, or has it been just smooth sailing the entire time?
Roller coaster. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I
You're
figured.
learning. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
learning, but I learned to trust
Okay.
the process, and a lot of ups and downs, but the downs will pass and the ups too. So as long as I know that, I just enjoy the wherever I'm at. So it has been a lot of learning throughout the process because it's my first kind of like quote unquote restaurant since being in banking. I have catch up really quick, so it's good. My wife too. But yeah, it has been amazing. It has been a good experience.
What is, because I think there's a lot of people out there that they think that owning their business is like that's the key. I can escape the whole 9 to 5 and everything else and embrace all this freedom. Is it all it's parallel to me, or what? How does it feel going from working a more corporate job to now you're more or less working for yourself? What are the pros and cons now that you've been on both sides of the fence?
Well, there is pros and cons. You can make arguments for both sides. I will say that leaving corporate and jumping into a business is not as simple as I'm quitting and that's it. And depending on your life situation, like for me, it's just me and my wife, so it was easy to just. I'm gonna sound like Dave Ramsey here,
Sure.
but have a 6 to a year, 6 months
Yes,
to a
your
year
savings,
emergency
yeah.
savings. So
Yes.
that gives you a lot of peace of mind. So that's why I stay so long to incorporate after Goldman, so I can build that.
Okay.
At the same time, it's painful, but you need to go through. You need to lower your standards of living, meaning my fancy cars and my wife fancy cars.
Sure.
So we sold the house. We moved into an apartment. So we lower our expenses as much as possible. That takes commitment.
Sure.
And it's painful.
Sure.
And it's painful because sometimes our identities are by the car that we drive, by the status that we have, the big house and that stuff. And sometimes it doesn't come from the outside. It might come from the family too. Some expectations that your family have, because after you build all this, I have the house, I have the car,
That's
I have
interesting.
the thing. You're now going, no, burn it all because we're going to go this different way. I'm going to start actually shopping away my own way. I'm not following nobody's way.
Okay.
So
How does your wife feel about that? I guess kind of lowering the standards of living for a little bit. Although I would imagine for a season, forever. Once you have like your 10 Açaí Bowl locations, you'll be right back to it and living the dream, I assume. But how did she react to going through that process?
she was on board completely because she actually did it before me.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
my wife had a finance degree, MBA, everything. She was a finance manager for PepsiCo. So
wow.
she was, we were.
Man, power couple right there.
Yes, we
Okay.
were at the
Excellent.
tops, and she decided one day she come to me and she said, I wanted to be an esthetician. I'm like, go for it. I know that since the beginning that we met, that's what you wanted to do. It's just that we have some goals that we wanted to have the house, we wanted to have the cars, the corporate career, and that's what we decided to follow. But I know that that's your path. So she started taking classes at night of esthetician until 6 months later, she said, I'm going to open my business. I'm like, go for it. I stay working. So she was already on that path. It just took me a year and a half for, I will say, the message of God come to me about the Açaí business.
So she's kind of gone down this path a little bit before you. Did that kind of inspire you a little bit? Like, yeah, she can do it. I can do it too.
Yeah, inspired me a little bit. At the same time, I knew that at some point I was jumping out because if she's gonna have her business, and this is where logic and emotions comes around. It's like logically, I needed to stay working, and she does her career until things get better. But sometimes doors open up for you that you cannot let
Sure.
let them go out. So when the Açaí idea came through, it wasn't just like a random idea. It was strong. I cannot explain to you how strong it felt.
Yeah.
But it was really strong. It was like out of this world. That's when I say God gave me the idea, and it was like, this is the one.
Pretty strong. When you hear the call, it's there.
It was something that you're like, I can explain it to you, but until people don't feel it, it's like, and that's why it's so important sometimes. And this is my experience, right? That's why it's so important that to be able to listen to those calls or those ideas, you need to actually work in yourself.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah. There's a quote a friend of mine said that God moves what was it? God can only steer a moving ship, essentially, meaning like it takes some initiative where you're going somewhere, and God will kind of steer you along the way. But sometimes you need to just get up and moving, and then God will kind of start revealing to you as you're taking those steps in the right direction. If you want to connect with high performers like today's and previous guests, I want to invite you to apply to join the Standard. We are a private membership community that improves the health, wealth, and relationships for six-figure earners who perform at the highest level physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, and financially. What we offer is simple. We will give you a vetted local brotherhood of men on your level or above. We will give you a customized plan to build true generational wealth. We will give you a personal liaison to achieve all of your goals. If you are tired of being the most successful person in your circle, frustrated with always pouring into others, and not having anyone to pour into you, or you want to have conversations like the ones you're hearing today, in person, on a weekly basis, with fellow high performers, go to thestandardmen.com to apply. That's thestandardmen.com. Hit the link in the description below. Now back to the episode. Yes. Now, this kind of spiritual awakening you have, has this been fairly recent, like primarily within like the Goldman Sachs region where you're like, okay.
When I turned my 30s, and I think so, I read, after it happened to me, things happened to me during my 30s that I couldn't understand at the moment, but then the more I start reading and going to it, I'm like, makes sense.
Sure.
A lot of, I think so when people turn 30, they have like an awakening type of moment, and depending where you are mentally, spiritually, you're able to understand those messages and what is happening to you.
Okay.
So that's where, that's what happened to me in my 30s. Yeah, things shake, and I was guided, let's put it. I was guided to understand what was happening.
Okay. I had something a little bit different than yours, but I had a little bit of a similar experience where I was very devout as a teenager. And then during my college years, I had been focusing a lot on, how would I say this? Basically trying to find fulfillment in a lot of other things, primarily like, I'll just be honest, like women, parties, all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of like more on the party scene throughout college in the beginning of my adult years. And then like maybe a year or so before I met my wife, I had kind of that come to the Lord moment where I was thinking and dwelling on it. Cause I took a look at myself. Actually, this is what the turning point was. I was a military officer at the time. We were kind of talking about this. I used to be an infantry officer. And I had a platoon sergeant that he had like a 3-year-old at the house, and his wife had kicked him out of the house because their relationship was so tumultuous and so just strained. And I mean, I don't totally blame her because he was a very tumultuous type of person, and I'm sure he didn't make great decisions to the point where he like crashed on my bed. And there's a point, and then I had another non-commissioned officer that was like dating a stripper at the time. Anyway, I got to the point where I was like working amidst like my heroes, and I looked around. I'm like, these are my heroes, and this is the type of life they're like. This is where my life is going to go down if I continue along this. And so then I had a kind of a turning around moment, literally, and it was like maybe 6 months before I met my wife. Thank goodness, because if she had met me at any other time, I don't know if it would have been a good experience. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I know. So to go back to that Goldman Sachs moment, so for example, prior for me moving from Colorado during the pandemic, I stopped drinking a little bit. So my consumption of drinking went really, really down.
Sure.
But when
during Goldman Sachs or
before?
Beforehand.
Before
Okay,
Goldman Sachs. So when I started working at Goldman Sachs, going 150 miles an hour, making money, meetings, all that, everything, I would go out to dinner and I would be drinking like whiskey like it was water.
Sure.
And I remember one moment I was eating sushi with the wife, and I ordered a drink, and I ordered my third whiskey. And when I drink and I'm about to order the fourth, something hit me, and I'm like, "Oh, we have been here only 20 minutes." And it hit me. It
Yeah,
hit me, and
fair
that,
enough.
and that was another wake up call. That I'm like, "Oh wow, wait a second, what's happening to me?" So again, many I have a lot of stories like that from that time, but that's something that wake me up.
Okay. Well, another question I have for you, because I'm kind of curious, when did you find the standard? This group that we've both stumbled upon. What was your experience kind of going into it?
So I opened the business last March. Since I moved here 4 years ago, I haven't met a lot of people.
Okay.
I think so. And I was discussing this with my wife and everything. I don't know if it was the pandemic or it was that it's hard to make friends in your 30s because I think so you're sad and the friends that you made were from in your 20s or something.
Sure.
So it was a little bit hard to find like-minded people here. And I wasn't in the mentality of let's go party, let's go drink. I enjoy my sleep time. So everything that we can do from 10
Yep.
p.m. to 1 a.m. we can do it from 5 to 9.
Preaching to the choir, man.
Yeah,
I have a 9-month-old at the house, and I'm like, when is bedtime every night? So yeah, I sympathize with that heavily.
So opening the business, I'm going there during the summer. I went to Peru during the summer, and then I came back, and I'm like, okay, I need to find a group. One is I have a business. I need to network more. That's one. I need to start getting out there to small businesses and network more.
Sure.
I never had a problem networking, so I'm good. But I haven't put myself out there that much in Dallas. Then I don't know if my phone was listening. I hope no. But having conversation with my wife, the standards ads start coming up, and I'm like, okay, sounds interesting. But again, it was like some of the messages that I get, it was a little bit too strong. It wasn't just like, oh, another ad. It was like, let me look into it. So I sat on it for a month, looking into it, doing my as much research as I can, and that's where I'm like, what the heck? Let me take the test. Let me go through the process. Let me get into the discovery call with them, and then rather than judging prior to knowing, let's just go through it and let me see what is this about. And yeah, definitely, I jump in a call with Joseph
Okay.
first, and then we went through. He walked me through what their core values are. He didn't sell it to me, so that was something that I'm like,
Okay.
they're not selling it; they're just telling you, here's what we have. If you're interested, yes. If not, it might not
be your thing. Yeah.
It might not be for you. So I'm like, okay, let me look into it more, and that's when I decided. I told my wife, hey, I'm gonna pay the initiation fee. I'm going in. And since I joined, the support have been amazing. Hafiz have been really supportive on my business. He called me every other week to see how I'm doing and how else he can help and everything. So he have been fantastic.
Okay. Well, that's another reason I'm excited for this series. I'm going to be meeting a lot of different members of the membership group, and also just kind of get to know their backstories and how they've interacted with each other. I know one thing that I've gotten a lot of value out of is kind of resonating with what you're saying. It's one thing to make friends. It's also another thing to make friends that are kind of in the same boat that you are, that like resonate with some of the same things that you're going through. And so, like, I know for you, obviously, achieving everything that you've achieved in life, there's a certain mindset that you have to adopt. And I feel like most people don't understand it until they've been in that kind of grind, that kind of environment. Because at the same point, it's easy to say, hey, I'm discovering myself and all this, just straight out of college. But to actually have gone through the gauntlet of everything that you went through and then coming to the conclusion, like, I've achieved it all, and this isn't quite exactly what I was hoping it was going to be. Let me explore this instead. But you've at least kind of went through those options. So.
Yes, and it's interesting because now how you said that you need to go through all that. You put all these things on to then start taking it out.
Yes.
It's a whole process of kind of a phoenix. You need to actually go to ashes and then come back again after you have everything.
I had something a little bit similar that's only within the last couple of years I've been shedding off, which is I always believed that those, everyone else knew better than me, that everyone had this like secret that like if I just got into it, if I got enough opinions, I'd figure out the secret sauce.
Yeah.
I've quickly found out 90% of people's opinions just aren't really worth its salt. And I've started to learn to trust my own judgment a little bit, where I'm like, I think this is the right path. And I feel like I've lived enough life where I feel like this is the thing that's going to make me happy. These are the things I think are worth my time. And I'm just going to commit to that. And there you go.
And I think so. There is a saying that say too that this is some of advice that I always give people is you need to take the risk.
Sure.
Even if you can take calculated risk, but it's not gonna be everything 100% safe. But there is a reason why there's sayings like fortune reward the bold. I think so is the way of saying it or something like that. But it's like, yeah, you need to take risks.
Sure.
And working 9 to 5 is amazing because it gives you a lifestyle, it gives you everything. But if you will plateau at some point, and if you're not taking risk, if you're not reinventing yourself, if you're not learning different skills, and sometimes skills that doesn't mean to make money.
Sure.
Sometimes skills is like, okay, I always wanted to play the violin. Let me go take some classes, because you don't know by playing the violin, ideas are gonna come of businesses and everything. But
or even just a sense of self-fulfillment too. I mean, that's worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to start learning a skill. And yes, think about the business. Think about what you want to do outside the 9 to 5. But learn other creative skills that they don't require you to make money or anything, because again, it will merge at some point.
That's an interesting point. I like that. Even if it doesn't, maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll find out like, hey, I actually don't like painting, but that's okay. I'll go pick. And now I know what I don't like. Now I'll go try pottery instead.
Yeah, a lot of people, when you think about it, a lot of people say, oh, what do you do in your free time? Well, work out. I mean, workout is kind of like a standard thing. Like, it's not like outside. Like you want to keep you healthy. Yeah, it's a standard thing. So it's not something extraordinary that is going to take you out of the.
Now I took that personally. That's the only thing I do in my free time. No, whenever people ask me like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, I work and I work out and I hang out with my wife." Like, yeah, I'm pretty boring. I don't know what to tell you.
but it's not about boring. It's about okay. What else do you do? Do you sit down? To give an example, something simple. Do you sit down and do you have a corner in the house that you have a puzzle?
Yeah.
And half an hour a day you go and that's your time. You put in a puzzle. It doesn't mean doing something crazy, but it means do something different, completely out of the norm of what people might think that you want to do. Like people say, oh, I'm going skydiving. You go once. How about learn to skydive?
Yeah.
How about taking some courses of skydiving? What doors that might open up? Not in skydiving, but on you.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I have so one thing I'm doing, I'm actually preparing for a men's physique competition, knowing full well I'll never get my professional like bodybuilding career off the ground. But in my mind, it's just like something I just wanted to do. And it's like maybe I probably won't get I probably won't be Arnold at any point. But I wonder
where can you get? Where is your potential?
Yes.
Because you haven't even started to push it.
Yeah, you don't even know. Yeah, I know. Well, so kind of going to that, what are some things that you've done outside of just working and everything else that you find give yourself the most like satisfaction?
So
or things that you tried and were like, no, that actually isn't satisfying at all. I don't know why I even tried that.
Well, I do the workout thing. I like to work out.
We're the boring workout people.
I do a lot of intentional walking in nature. I love walking in nature. I get bored with workouts, so I get a little bit creative too with them. I'm not always lifting my change it. However, I go by whatever I feel that day. It's not like I have a structure.
Sure.
Like I say, I meditate a lot. I learn different skills right now I'm taking a course of breath work.
Okay.
To see how to breathe better and how to regulate your nervous system depending on your breath. What is the other thing? I'm learning how to build apps.
How do I?
Build apps.
Okay.
Online apps, applications.
Okay.
So I got into, for some reason in December, I got into this crazy idea. Okay, there is AI solutions out there to build apps. what solutions can I bring to different businesses?
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, let me learn Base 44. Let me learn Bobo.ai.
That's
They
interesting.
help you to build application without coding. So
It's so weird when I talk to people that get into coding, because in the back of my mind, it sounds like it's the most boring thing on the planet. But the people I know that do it, they love it.
They love it.
They love it. There's something about it that there's like solving problems they would in a way that they never had to before. I'm like,
but the beautiful thing is that you don't need to know any coding anymore with AI.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
insane.
gosh.
So that's
Never a better time to get in, right?
that's another thing that I'm learning. Again, I'm not seeing it as I'm gonna make money. It's just something that I wanted to learn, so I go there. There's many things that I want to learn though. I in my queue, I read a lot. Oh my god.
Read?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Like, what is my favorite?
Well, that's a broad question. What's a book you've read recently that you really enjoyed?
It's Wisdom for the Idiots.
Wisdom for the Idiots. That's awesome. That's a great title.
It's a Sufi book.
Okay.
Sufism is kind of like the mystic way of the Islam.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
the
Islam mysticism. That's
Sufis.
interesting.
Rumi. Have you heard about Rumi?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people use the quote. He was a Sufi.
Okay.
So
okay. I see what
he
you.
was
Yeah.
a
Yes.
Sufi.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that's Wisdom for the Idiots. It's a bunch of different stories.
Okay.
But mind blowing. When you read the story, you're like, oh wow, there is a lot of wisdom on it. So, and it's called Wisdom for the Idiots. It's interesting because idiot has the same numerical number that they use in Sufism to say saints.
Okay.
So idiot and saint
what?
has the same numerical in the
That's
numerology.
That's hilarious.
And that's why they call it, people will read, Wisdom of the Idiots, but they understand
that
what
is
it
so
means.
funny. I like that.
So,
Okay.
that one is one. The way of the superior man have been one that changed my life completely.
Okay.
The way of the superior man, understanding how man and female dynamics work.
Okay.
So that helped my relationship a lot. So I read a lot. Like that's another thing. Prior to my 30s, you cannot. Like I wouldn't read any book. I haven't read a book before 30. Something shift. Don't ask me why, and I don't know how. But I am I cannot stop reading. No.
So, and it's funny. I've actually recently kind of picked up on reading a little bit more. So, I'm currently a leader in my church right now, where I'm over something called a life group. It's essentially Sunday school, but it's they call it a different term now. But I'm in charge of helping develop some of the lesson plans, and so that's given me an opportunity to kind of delve a little bit differently into like the historical narrative. Mm-hmm. So kind of going the nuances of like what's my specific denomination versus like Roman Catholic or Eastern Orthodox, or to find out there's like Eastern Orthodox, there's Coptic Orthodox, there's the Serbian Orthodox. Funny, so on a different aside, I found this interesting train of thought so the Roman Empire, because a lot of cultures will be like, who are the true custodians of the Roman Empire? Rome obviously thinks it's them. But when Constantinople was made, that was supposedly the new Rome.
The new Rome, yeah.
And then when it was sacked, there's a large state of mind where the Orthodox Christians there actually migrated to Moscow. So there's a lot of people that feel like the Russian Orthodox Church is the true like new Rome. It's so funny the amount of people that claim to kind of hold the cultural sort of vestige of Rome from back in the day. And so anyway, I love learning about history, and I like learning about like how faith kind of interplayed with all those different things.
And that's where I'm at in my journey. I'm learning about every single Hinduism, Tao, everything, and I'm connecting the dots, because if God gave us the power to be able to be logical and connect dots, why not using it? Why not exploring different things? That doesn't mean that you want to change your faith, but you want to learn.
Yeah, you want to learn. It's you want to learn how other people think, even if it's just to sharpen your own belief and your own thought process. I think it's worth, because I think the only wrong answer is you just believe what you believe because that's what your parents did. Yeah, it's like that's the only wrong answer in my personal opinion. You should know why. And I'm interested, and we could probably talk some other time about like what some of the connections you saw there. But what new hobbies are you going to try to take up in the future?
New hobbies in the future.
Or are you just gonna stick on apps and coding using AI?
No, I need to learn either piano or violin. That's
Okay,
something that is
musician.
in my something that I want to do. I want to learn. I want to start. I know I take walks, but I want to start like for some reason I want to start like the military. What is the name with the backpacks?
Oh, rucking.
Rugging.
Rugging.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's something that
So-
it came strong to me
Yeah.
the other day. I'm like, okay, I see you. I have a vest. So.
It's unfortunate we live in Dallas because so one thing when you say Colorado, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I love
the hiking. Colorado.
I know.
Yeah.
I love nature and the outdoors, and so like there's a little park next to my house, and that's about the most nature I'm gonna get in this area. Although if you go up north to Oklahoma, like the Turner Falls area, I was gonna say if you needed to get out into a nature environment, what's your best area?
It's a natural reserve. I think so it's going east, close to Arlington, south of Arlington. It's a natural reserve. Yeah.
Oh, Cedar Hills. Yeah.
Cedar Ridge. I just go the loop 3 miles or 4 miles, and then,
Yeah.
but it's between nature, so it's good.
Yes, I've been along that route. That's a pretty area. It's pretty easy to get in this area. If you ever get a chance to go up to Turner Falls, up in southern Oklahoma, that's nice. Or I've been meaning to go to not Broken Bow, like the city itself, but that area. Yeah.
I went to Broken Bow. Beautiful.
Yes, I heard it's crowded though.
It is.
Yeah.
No good. The food is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little crowded, but if you can get in that area outside of the tourist attractions, it's beautiful. That's good, man.
Yes.
All right, man.
No, but yeah. You know, something that when you were talking about religion and everything, and I know that we discussed this the other day about sacrifices.
Yes.
You remember that was brought up in the conversation that we had. I think so that comes from the history side of it, the sacrifice that Jesus did for us. So that comes from it. It put me to think more and more after our conversations that we had about the why that word, when you mentioned sacrifice, stuck to me, and I'm like, oh, check, wait a second, why this word? And I continue thinking, and it's like, in my opinion, I don't believe that you sacrifice family for money.
Yes.
Again, this is my opinion. A lot of people might have a different, and they might prove me wrong. But I believe that it's not a sacrifice; it's a decision, and you're deciding what is more important for you. And I think so. We hide ourselves under the sacrifice part because it's like, oh, I get chills. I think so. You don't sacrifice family for money, because when you think about, oh, I'm doing this for my family, is that what your family needs?
Yeah, what does your family need from you? More money or more of yourself? Yeah.
Yes.
No.
And that's where I'm like, I was going through it the other day. I'm like, wait a second. And then it came to me. I'm like, oh no, we need to make it. Like, no, I'm deciding to go to work because this is what I decide.
Sure.
So
no, I really like that you said that, because I do think it's like you make a decision of what's important to you, and that's usually reflected on what you're spending your hours doing.
Yep.
And so I just had my baby boy, he's turning 9 months old here in a week or so. And I can't imagine, like I do work hard, I do go to the gym and all this sort of stuff, but I try to maintain be there, hang out with him. I want him, because I grew up without a dad, and so I want to make sure that he has the experience of being raised and nurtured by a loving father to give him like a good masculine influence to kind of grab onto. Yeah. But at the same point, I want to be someone he looks up to as well. So I want to make sure I'm being well-rounded in those other. But like you said, it's a decision, right? What are you deciding to do? Because I know some other people that they're like, I'm doing this for my family. I'm like, if you asked your family what they would rather you have, they'd rather you be there on the weekends and on the evenings.
And think about it. You want him to look up to you.
Yes.
On what sense? That you have a title, that you have a big career, that you were this person, or that you were always there for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Picking him up from school.
Sure.
You had a decent life. You have good money and everything, and maybe you were a millionaire, but you were always there for him. So those are the things that, again, it's stuck in my mind, because I'm like, there is something here, and I'm trying.
No, I'm glad I could inspire you to think more existentially on those things. That's just something I've been kind of dealing with, because I have a lot of different projects I'm working on right now, but I'm doing my best right now. Like even right now with this podcast, it's a little bit of time away, but I'm going to try and make it up, over the weekend and whatnot. But no, I do appreciate coming from your standpoint. Do you have a kid yet?
No, not yet. And That's actually why I have been working so hard on myself,
Yeah. Okay.
because I want to be that person and that he look up to
Sure.
big time, and that I show him a different way of living
Okay.
rather than the path that have society, different people have take everybody through.
Sure.
And I think so that's where I want to be that bridge for my kids, for people around in the community. I want to be that bridge that they say, "Oh, he was able to do it.
Yeah.
How? Let me show you."
Here's another question that this might make this a little bit interesting. If you were to go back to like your 21-year-old self that's gone right out of college and about to enter, the workforce, what are some pieces of advice that you would give to him now that you're older?
Don't listen to everyone's advice.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't change anything. Like I would take everything, going through even through Goldman Sachs and everything. But
Sure.
it's like don't listen to
You'd still do everything, but you'd put a little less pressure on yourself.
less pressure on
so good.
yourself. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to take the wrong path. It's okay. Just trust yourself.
I think when you're young, you have this catastrophic look in your view of your life that if you don't optimize everything, it's all just gonna fall apart. It's like,
Yeah, I know every kid should go to college right away out of high school.
yeah,
Like no everyone. I mean, I joke around no joke. I wouldn't change anything right now at the moment, but I always tell people if I can go back, I would learn a trade. Because
I'm so glad
I
you
know-
said that.
I know that's where the money's at, and that's where.
No, I'm so because you said delay college. I'm like, or just not go. Period. Like I know some people, they're plumbers, electricians, and they have like an electrician company, and they're just, making money out the wall. No, the trades are slept on. Actually, my brother right now is trying to get into certain trade schools. They're competitive now.
Yeah.
Because people are understanding, like, yeah, this is where who knew that doing something with your hands could be so lucrative?
Yeah.
But like, hey, when the electricity goes out in your house,
private equity is buying a lot of trades, businesses, and everything because they know the value of it.
yeah, it is. Well, especially here in like the North Dallas region. Construction's going up like crazy. If you're in roofing, construction, electrician, plumbing, any of that stuff, you are even like just like your pest control, like maintenance services are just, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been telling my little cousins, is like, do you want a title or do you want money?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's where I told them, like, if you want a title, yeah, go to college and everything, but you might hit a ceiling of $150,000, maybe $200,000.
Sure.
But if you want money, you can make $500,000, $600,000 in a year picking up poop. So it's like,
I'll shovel poop off the sidewalk for $300K. No worries there.
Exactly.
Or I've heard about some people, they're like, welders out in the oil rigs. And I know that's a hard life. Like, I don't want to, minimize that. But there's dudes making $200K, working 6 months a year. And the other 6 months, they're just living the life, man.
I had the opportunity when I was a teller in Wells Fargo. I almost dropped college and everything because I had a customer who will walk in and I will see the checks every 2 weeks. And he told me, you can drive with me. We will go together. And
really? Yeah. Well, I'd imagine if you're working on an oil rig, you want to be surrounded by people you like.
Yeah.
So, because if you're on that thing for 6 months, yeah, I can't even imagine. That's crazy. I always wondered. There was a part of me that wondered if I had not gone into the military, if I'd done something else instead, could I have had a better life outcome? But at the same point, my experiences kind of gave me a certain view of the world that I don't know if I would take back. I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult to say.
No, yeah, the military is a great career. If someone doesn't know what they want to do, I think the military is
because the military will tell you what you want to do. It's like, you don't know what to do, don't worry, we'll tell you what to do.
It will give you some guidance. It will show you some structure type of thing for you to kind of organize your life and think a little bit different.
Yeah, I do think that, and it gives you a little worldview too. I think going to another, the biggest lesson I learned in my deployment was I remember we would drive through a lot of these villages and we'd have some food and candy and water in the back or whatever. And I remember we went out to this field and all these kids were playing soccer and we pulled up, you know, and all our gear and everything else, Hannah, Katie, and they were just having the time of their lives. Like these were the happiest kids I'd ever seen. And there's bullet holes everywhere. Like I could see a building like right off to my left that had just been demolished. Like these people had just been through a war zone. And these kids had more joy in their hearts and on their faces than most of the kids I would see just in like normal American life. And so I was like, man, if these kids can find the joy in like these small little things, like I should have a better outlook on life.
Yep.
And so,
and they give you some brotherhood too. I think so that's important in nowadays too. Like,
Yeah.
man, you know, you make those connections in there and you go through the same BS
yes,
together.
Yes, you are. Yeah, for better or for worse.
Basic training.
It's actually always funny because like I would go through these and we would like be so mad at each other in the middle of it, and then as soon as it's done, we're like really good friends then too because we went through it. But when you're all living in the same tent together, farting and you know snoring, we're like shut up.
You build that trust, and that's something that it can be missing a little bit nowadays for men. So.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I don't grow it quite as much, but yeah. But no, you know, that's really cool. It's always wondered, you know, we were talking about going to trades because the military's kind of in a similar, more blue collar work, but I really do think that's going to be the future. I think there's going to be a point where AI is going to really help elevate more of the white collar jobs to enable them to do more. But like, that's like a section that like, unless the Optimus robot's suddenly going to be able to like wire your house for you, I think that's going to be, I think the next 10 or 20 years, that's where a lot of the money's going to be. Yeah.
Correct. And a lot of people who are looking, what can they do to move on from the 9 to 5? My best advice is to stop looking and just start working on yourself. The idea will come.
Yep.
It will come to you. Trust that it will come.
And the opportunities will come.
I think so. We're losing so much noise looking online. What is the best idea? Let me take this course. Let me follow this. 10 best way to make $100,000 a year. That is a lot of noise. It's a lot, and you're not able to actually listen.
Sure. I think that's my biggest problem right now is how do I siphon out the noise from the signal, essentially? And so, I don't know. It takes some self-reflection, which you've clearly have done, and seems like you have some joy in that now. So that's awesome. That's great. So since we're kind of talking about family and everything else, I know like a big buzzword, particularly within like the standard, has been a legacy. That was kind of a theme on their in their like meeting last year. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind for your wife, for your kids? Like, what do you want people to remember you for moving forward?
I will say that I was a pioneer. I think that's the best word, pioneer, that I make my own way. That at some point I walked the same road of everyone else, but then I decided to make my own one.
Okay.
With no fear, and I was able to get there. I wanted to be known as like I told you earlier, as a bridge for people.
Okay.
So people can see that, oh wait, he did it. My kids stay when my kids listen, oh yeah, going to college, doing all this, the corporate world, they can go like, no, I know the story of my father.
Yeah.
He did it, but then he pivoted, and that's why he has been teaching me entrepreneurship, how to go to business, how to be creative, and how there is money in creativity.
Sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
There's money in creativity.
Absolutely.
It's not anymore like just one way. There is a lot of money in creativity, and you might fall, but you get up, and that's how I want people to see me. I think so. That's my biggest legacy. And I know legacy is a loaded word. When you ask people, what is your legacy? People think about big, but I'm like, in my family, my wife, that's my legacy.
For sure.
That's what I want to be remembered as, the pioneer.
Okay. What is the most important lesson that you want your children? I know you kind of hit on it a little bit, but if there was like a single thing that you would want your children to do differently than what you did, or maybe even something the same as what you did, how would you hope that they would kind of steer their lives?
I will. But this is something that I'm going to teach them.
Okay.
But I want them to, like we were talking, to live life more.
I love life.
Don't put a lot of I don't want to put a ton of super over expectations on top of them.
Sure.
I want them to be able to live life with some structure and show them the way, and that they're being heard too. Like I think so, kids nowadays are teaching the parents a lot of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
We need to be open for that, and we need to understand this is going to the spiritual way again. We need to understand that they're a soul.
Sure.
That God send them.
Yeah.
And they have a soul, and we need to listen to them too, because there is something, there is wisdom in there. It's just that because we think that they're kids, there is a lot of wisdom in there. So
that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
So I want them to know that they're being here, that I listen to them, and I want them to live life basically.
Okay. That's really, really great. Hey, look, I really enjoyed this conversation. Like, really enjoyed this conversation. I hope best things for the business, but more importantly, I hope for the best part. This sounds like you're in a really cool, like, new chapter in your life. Frankly, how often do you go back to Puerto Rico?
I go once a year to visit my family. My parents come here sometimes.
Okay.
But now we're traveling more to new places. More than anything. Yeah, we discover it, because every single vacation before it was Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Now,
may I suggest the western side of Mexico, of Huatulco, down in like Chiapas?
Chiapas? Okay.
Yeah. It is a very unspoiled part of the Mexican country. So I mean, you got like your Cancun, Tulum, and all that. You got that. If you go on the western side,
Pacific side,
it is like, because you have like the mountain ridges that meet up with the beaches, and it's just, if I can recommend for your next place to go to,
I'm gonna look it up.
It's a nice place. Yeah. No, man, I really appreciate this. I hope we get to talk again soon. And appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.